Hello guys, this is Kathy with Kincaid Special Creations coming to you with another tutorial on how I make my Christmas cards. I'm going to showcase the trimmer, the scoreboard, and the envelope maker. So if these are things that you would like to learn a little bit more about, please keep watching and let's get on with the video. Guys, this is Kathy with Kincaid Special Creations coming to you with the video, sorry about the dirt, on how to make cards. Now I'm going to show you a couple different ways of how to do it. Get my scissors here. So that you can do it on a professional basis, or you can do it just so you can send out cards to your people, which are still professionally done, but you don't have to take as much material to do it with. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this by the stuff that I have, and then I'll show you a version of how to do it with just stuff you have around the house. This is a paper trimmer. It's from Cricut. It's just a everyday Joe paper trimmer. You can get them from $10 to $15 at Joann's, Michael's, wherever, online. Try to get a fairly good one, because when the blades get rough or the track gets full of stuff, you're going to have trouble. I just slide it up down through there trying to get the stuff out of it. Okay, it has measurements along, let me shut this up, along the top here, and then that arm comes out with more measurements, up to 12 inches. They also have measurements down through here that can tell you the different size of the card. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 8.5 by 11 standard size. This is cardstock, where this is copy paper. You do not want to use copy paper for a card. It is too thin. It will not do a good job. Cardstock will come from I think you can get 20-pound paper, but that's still not very strong. This is 65-pound paper that you get at Michael's. It would do in a pinch for a card, but still really not sturdy enough. They come in 80-pound. This is 110-pound cardstock right here. That's the best to make a good sturdy card with. So you're just going to measure it down to 5.5, because this is an 11 piece of paper, so half of that is 5.5. So we're just going to cut it down right here at the 5.5 inch mark. And now you have two. Now if you want to do an alternate type of card, this is 8.5 this way, you're going to cut it at 4.5, 4 1/4, sorry, 4 1/4. And now you have two what they call top folding cards. Set this out of the way for a minute. This is what they call scoreboard. This is from EK Tools. Martha Stewart makes them. I would say We Are Memory Keepers makes them. Cricut probably makes one. Everybody has a brand of them. So I'm going to take the one that I cut 5.5, and I'm going to put it on this scoreboard too. Has measurements all across the top of it. So you're going to put it in there. It has little lines, little indents all the way down through there where you can make a good scoreboard. This is called a scoring tool. So you can use it. It's got glue all over it right now, but anyway, we're going to go back to this. It says it's 8.5, so you're going to go to 4 1/4, and that's the major line. Like you have 4, 8 1/4, or 4 1/4. So there you go. Just score it down through there. While I'm at it, I'll do both of them. And now for the one you cut at 4¼ inches, you're going to lay it in there and see it is now 11 inches. So what you're going to do is come down to 5½ and score it in the middle. Alright, so that's what we use the scoreboard for. You can get smaller ones, which would be perfect size for just doing cards. Okay, so then we're going to take and fold it over and make sure both of those ends match. You can use, if you've got a really fancy one, it's called a bone folder. You got kind like I got, it's called a score tool, or I call it a score tool. So now you have what they call a top folding card. And this one, make sure it matches. Do the same thing with that. Now you have a side card with a 5½ inch tall, or you can flip it around and make this type of card. So you can either have it long ways or tall ways. And this one, you have mostly tall ways, but it is longer for a longer embellishments that you want to put on. You could always turn it sideways if you wanted to make a long card this way too, but mostly they're just top folding cards. Okay, so now that's got what they call card bases, 2 different type of card bases. Now we're going to do the other cards. You can also, if you go to the store, you can find already made card bases. This we got at Hobby Lobby. And it's just, it's both sides, just like a piece of 65-inch card or pound cardstock, maybe even 20. Anyway, and it's the 4¼ by 5½. And it folds either way because of the design on it. You can fold it either way. Put your embellishments on. But that, if you don't want to go the route of getting these, just buy you some that are empty. And you can still embellish these like we're going to do the other ones and make the card yours. Or you can simply put a stamp, embellish, or a stamp inside of it, call it a day and send it out. Okay. So the next thing we're going to work on is called a layer. And what I'm going to do is take this card and I'm going to cut it down. This is the 5½ inch tall by 4¼ inch wide. So I'm going to now cut this piece of paper down to where it is 5¼ inches tall by 4 inches wide. And I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so we're going to measure it 5¼ These are just little books that you can get from Hobby Lobby that's already cut down. You can also take a full sheet of paper and cut it down to the size that you need. And we're going to cut it to 4. Okay. Now we're going to bring back our card, and you'll see when you put it on there, you have just a little bit of a white border around it. So now I'm going to get, this is called a scrapbooking pad or a cardstock pad. This is cardstock. Let me get these. That's what holds them together when you buy them in the store, so the papers don't flop around everywhere. Okay. So this is just a stack of papers, all different kind of papers. So we're going to pick one of these out. Like this would be really pretty on the front of this. I might use that one. Let's look down through here. These would be good backgrounds. Oh, that's pretty too. I think I'm gonna use this one. Let me show you the rest of them. They're just mostly plaids. It's wintertime thing. Ooh, look at that one. Look how pretty. Look, look, look. And we have stripes. Poinsettias. That would be pretty with a red background too. Christmas trees, might use that one with the green background. Let's get that one out. We'll put it on the green background. Okay. Oh, look at the campers. All right, we're going to settle with these two. But this book you'll see on here is $5.49. Right there it says $5.49. I think they're a little higher now, but you can almost always get them at 50% off certain weeks of the thing. You have to watch for them. Sometimes they're full price, but sometimes they're 50% off. So just check it out at Hobby Lobby. Okay, we're going to bring back in our trimmer. And since this one was 5 1/4 by 4 inches, I'm going to cut this one down to 5. And you have to, if it's directional like this one, well, that one's not the one I wanted to use. Let's take it out till dark now. Okay, so we're going to do it. I cut it this way at 5, yeah. I must have done it wrong. Okay, back to our directional. Then go back to 3 3/4. Right, see? And I might leave that in just to show you. So now when you put this card together, you have boundaries around everything. Okay, so now I'm going to do the green one. I'll set this one off to the side and we'll cut the green one. Okay, we're going to cut it the same thing at 5, and it's directional, so make sure the directions for the length is sideways. By 3 3/4. Okay, we're going to cut this green piece down to 4. By 5 1/4. Okay. Now, this one will go on that card. Okay. So we're going to make one more. And on this one, I'm going to use the pre-made card. So for this one, I'm going to use this piece that's left over, which is 2 1/4. So I'm going to cut it again at 2 1/4 and 2 1/4. Okay, so now we need a white to go behind it, or maybe a green. Let's check this green out. I think I'll put the green behind it. Yes, let me just use this card base, and I'll put this here and here then we'll use this as the background. See, you already got this, so we can cut this down. That was 2 1/4, so we'll cut this down to 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. And this is just a sample. You can use any paper, any that matches what you want to do. I'm going to turn it over to the white side. And we'll put it on like this. So there we've got 3 cards ready to go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the pieces and parts that goes with these. Card making stuff that I have. Okay, so now the next thing we will bring up is, I think I'll bring this up. This is called a die cutting machine. This one is made by Sizzix. It comes with this plate that you can cut these little metal thinlits. I'm sure you've seen them being used. So if you want to do what is called an embossing folder, all you have to do is to move this back out of the way and then just run this part through your machine. But we're going to cut out some paper using the thinlits first. Okay. So we stick this side in first. This is what they call the cutting plates. You'll see because they're all scarred up. This one is worse, so I'm going to use this as the bottom one. They have little edges that make them easier to go in through there. And then you're going to have to, let's see, for the sake of purposes, I'm going to use this red card. I can use the thing, but I'm just going to tear it too, because it's going to go through the thinlet. Set your paper down, pick out your thinlet, whichever one you want to use. I'm going to use the scalloped little size, right here. You just lay it that with the cutting edge, you'll feel the roughness on it. Put that down and the smooth side up. And then take your other piece of clear thing and you just simply roll your roller over top of it. And then you now have a beautiful scallop. That can go inside of your green card. And you could take a smaller one. Let's do that. Let's take a piece of white paper, lay it down here, and we'll get a smaller one out of the package. Now let's get this bigger one. No, let's get the smaller one. I haven't used it yet. You just turn around a couple times and it has a cutting edge on it too. If you look at it real close, you just lay that cutting edge down flat. Oh, I got the one on top of the other one. You have to put that down first. Then put the cutting blade on top of it and just roll it through. If you're going to do this, you should do many at a time. That way you can store them and don't have to do this every time. But I'm doing this for the thing I'm showing you. And now you have a full card. I'll put all this together and bring it back and show you how it is. But I want to stamp on the little white thing before I do that. So now we'll work on the other one. For this one, I have a little square. We'll take the same piece of paper I had, turn it over, put it down. Sorry about that, guys. And you don't have to have it on there perfectly straight because it will cut your paper right, unless you've got a design on it. I do it through twice just to make sure. Water. Okay, so now we're going to bring out the red card that we have this on, and we're going to put this on and decorate it with a sentiment. Merry Christmas or something. So that becomes the border around this. Alright, we'll put that together in a little bit. Okay, for this one, let's see. For this one, I think I'm going to cut the largest one of the ovals. Yep, it'll fit on there. And make it the background. I keep losing things, guys. Oh, for this card. Then you could also do the same thing with the bigger size and make another card with your sentiment on it. You could put it that way, or because the outside is so wide, you can put it that way. Alright guys, we're going to work on these. Get all this stuff. Oh, I want to show you one more thing that this machine can do before I let you go. Okay, so you move the plate 2 out of the way, put your plastic grid back on. You take your embossing folder. I think I'm going to use this white card. Let me do it down with this thing. I've got no space, guys. Take my thing and my sheet of paper, and I'm going to cut it down to 4 so it'll fit on there good, by 5 1/4. It's just cutting just the smallest little sliver off of it. But you will see the difference once the card is made. this time, I'm going to take this piece of paper and put it into what they call an embossing folder. All you do is open it up, put it on. It doesn't matter which size you put it on. Just put it there. I usually put it through the machine with the words on top. Put it on there. Put your other piece of stuff on there and just roll it through. Okay, so now when you get this out, you can see the embossed side, and we'll put that on a card. And we'll see you in just a little bit when I get all these cards and all this mess cleaned up. Okay guys, the next thing we're going to do is to stamp some sentiments. This thing is called a Misti. It's a wonderful tool if you're going to make cards on an all-the-time basis, because it lets you put your card in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in to my Misti down in this little corner. I need to get a bigger magnet, but okay. So now this is what they call stamps, clear stamps. Okay, you'll see when I take them out there, they don't have the lettering on them like that. So what I'm going to do for this card is I'm going to put Season's Greetings on it. You can tell I haven't used these much. Because it is a green card, I'm going to use green ink. So what you do is you put the flat side towards up, because it'll read correct. You put it exactly where you want it to go in that oval and lay your board on top of it. I'm going to be using this ink pad I got on sale somewhere. I don't even know if it's by Ranger. I've had them forever. I got a whole bunch of them at a really good price. So what you're going to do is lift that up. Don't move that paper down there. Take your ink pad and just kind of put it on the top there. Depending on how juicy your ink pad is how juicy that's going to be. Then you can just lay it right down in there and rub your hands over it. Real easy. Lift it up. And look. Beautiful. Now if it hadn't come out crisp like that, you could then ink your pad back up and put it back down in the exact same position. Now that you cannot do with these. These are called a glass block for your things. So I'm going to try to stamp one of them. I have one more thing here. This time I'm going to put it on the block. Make sure your wording is the right side up when you're putting it on there. I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm just going to press it on the top of it. And now it's up to me to figure out where I want it to set. Put it down and hold down on it. Don't press on this one, just hold down on it. Because if you wobble this any, it'll wobble the paint. Okay, lift it straight up and see. You could do the same thing with a probably $4 or $5 glass box. But if it did not print solid like you wanted, you could not get this to go back down in the same place unless you're very good. So, you don't have to have the Misti, but the Misti does do some nice work. Okay, so the next one we'll do is this one. It's the like, I guess it's a hot chocolate themed. So we're going to put this down on it. We're going to put it back in the Misti first. And since we want this cinnamon to go up and down, we'll put it in there like this and put the magnet up against it. And this time we'll pick Let It Snow. I don't really want to do the Let It Snow. Let's do Joy. No, let's do It's a Wonderful Time of the Year. You have to get these off of the thing. It's a good idea to take you a little emery board or something and sand down off the stuff that they got from the store, or put your ink on it and stamp it off once and then stamp it again, which I might do just to show you what to do. You can tell I ain't used these. Okay, now, so we're going to put it down on the thing where I want it to go, and I'll know because this goes right back in that corner. That's where I want it to go, is right there. Okay, so I can press this down. Now, I can move this out of the way and get, I'll just get a piece of this. Oh, here's one. Here is a blank to just try it out to see that it works good. Now I'm going to do it because it's going to go on the red card. I'm going to do it in red. This is a good way to test out your ink pad to see if it works good. Everything else stayed on there. Now this is not going to be in the right spot on this because, yes, see, and it pressed out good. So I was just testing out their theory because they said you had to do it that way. Now we're going to put this back in the corner, put our ink. This is to show you that it will go back where you want it to go. Okay. And see, that's where we wanted it. And because it's not a block where you're rocking it, you can do this on this one. Lift it up. Oh, look. Isn't that pretty? Now this one is going to go on this red card. Okay. So that's all three of those cards. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wipe this stamp so that the ink won't dry on it. And I'm going to wipe this stamp and clean them up and put them back in their little container. I'm going to be using those again in a minute, as well as the Misti, so we're just going to set it off to the side. The next card we're going to do is, this is the one we emboss, but I'm going to flip it over to the deboss side, which is the flat side. That background is flat. And I'm going to use a sheet of this copy paper. Put that on there. And I'm going to take the blue ink. Well, you can tell I ain't even used this one. This was on sale at Hobby Lobby. And anytime I find them, I pick them up. Ooh, now I got ink on my finger. Okay, so let's see how dark this is. This is called a finger dauber. Just like that thing I had on, showed you on Facebook Live the other night. That's a finger dauber. So what you want to do is you want to go off your paper and then onto your paper. And that will let you put the background behind the snowman. Now, if you flip it over, which I'm going to do, and you do the same exact thing, now you'll have the background to stay white. And now your snowmen are embossed or painted, but I still like that side because then you see the snowmen better. Now we will get our blendable markers out again, and I think in this blue color, and we'll just go outline the This is called improvising on the fly, guys. And there you go. You can color it in with markers. Alright, so that one obviously don't go on that one. Goes on this one. There we go. Now for the top folding card, I'm just going to take a page out of this . I think it's going to be this one. You can cut it down to 5 1/4 by 4. And therefore, you just have the one layer on there. Okay? And then we'll put a sentiment on the inside, but that's beautiful just the way it is on the outside. So I will bring you back when I have them all put together. Get ready to put these sentiments inside. Okay, now we're going to put them together. If you turn your glue upside down in a cup, you have more chance of it okay, let's see, this one's going to go this way. Alright, so what you want to do is take your top piece and put some glue on it. As much close to the edge as you can. These are all the pieces that we cut earlier. Put it to where it is even as it can be in the middle. Turn that one over. The reason you put all your pieces together first, because if you put that one on upside down, you can just have to cut that one piece again. Where if you put it all together to start with, you have to scrap the whole card. You put that on there. Now, we'll take the glue and put it on this one. And you can use pictures from anywhere and everywhere. You can Google them offline, you know, free Christmas pictures, whatever. You don't have to go and buy scrapbook paper. It just makes it easier and sometimes harder to pick it out. All right, so 2, 3, 4. Envelope. Well, it looks like I've got this one missing, so I'll do this one. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the Misti back. You can use your acrylic blocks for this too. I prefer the Misti because it will let you reposition it if you need to. So for this one, it already says Season's Greeting. I'm going to open it up, stick it in here. It'll fit in there perfectly. And we'll decide what you get when you have so many pretties, guys. Hey, I found this one, the base to this one. So I'm going to put it together. Same way. Put your glue on. Start from the top and go down. And make sure you get it on there the way you want it to go as you're putting it on there. There we go. Now we'll put this oval on this green piece of paper. You don't have to use a whole lot of glue. Glue is better than that sticky tape I found, although you can use it because the sticky tape will come off. The glue it might come off, but it'll take the paper with it when it comes. It's just a better setup. I'd like to get some art glitter glue, but that stuff is expensive. But this type of glue does good. You can get it at the Dollar Tree store. In fact, you could get all the stuff that you wanted to make this except for the 110-pound cardstock at different things at the Dollar Tree store. All right. Now we're back to what we wanted to do, which is, this is the green card, so I'm going to use It's a Wonderful Life. I don't think I put it on that one. A wonderful time of the year. Now, because this is a green card, I'm going to stamp it in black, Memento Black. It's called Tuxedo Black. Okay. So now we just pick this up, leave that where it's setting, make sure it's still in the corner, put your ink on, and make sure it's pointed in the right direction, guys, because sometimes I've been known to put it on upside down. All right, there we go. Now our card is done. Let that dry, and since this one is white and it's this way, put it in there to where you've got it facing. I'm going to move this one here off the thing, and I'm going to put Season's Greeting on the outside. We'll put Be Merry and Bright on the inside. Okay, Be Merry and Bright. Okay, let's see what color the outside is. It is green. I'm going to do that in the green. Put your lid back on your ink, because you don't wear it. And it'll dry out, but mostly you'll wear it. Now see, this is a thing where it's not quite as bright as I would like. So I'm going to go right back over it. Cross your fingers that I did this right, didn't move it any. And we'll make it a brighter color. Ah, yes, much better, much better. We'll let that one dry. Okay, this one says the most wonderful time of the year. So, get my thing to wipe off my ink off these things. So, I'm going to use the Merry Christmas on the inside of this one. I don't know how many of you are in the comments. Do you say Happy Holidays or do you say Merry Christmas? I'm a Merry Christmas type person. Okay, we'll put that on there. And I think I'm going to put it in the red ink. Close up this green so I don't wear it. That's a juicy ink pad right there. Let's put Merry Christmas in. Now you could always get stickers that says Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whatever you want, and put them on the inside. There you go. There's that one. Now this one, because it is a sideways facing card, I have to turn my stamp around a different way. But because it has snowmen on the front of it, I am going to use Let It Snow. It's all on the same stamp set. You don't even have, you watch what you're doing, you don't even have to buy 10 different stamp sets. I have them, mind you. But you would not have to do that. Make sure it's in the corner. Put it down where you want it. Bring your Misti thing over. Making sure it sticks. Bring out the color ink that you want, whatever color that might be. And as you see, it changes with my different cards that I do. Lid on it, because I'm notorious for wearing that stuff, putting it on these cards. Just put it in there, press it down, swirl it around all 5 or so seconds. And you know I put it in there sideways. Shoot, that should have went in there like that. Anyway, you get the idea. It should have been in this way, and I put it in this way, even after saying it. Oh well, it'll be fine. And then for my last card, just this one, I'm going to put it in. It's a top folding card. So it will be a little bit more difficult, but not bad. I'm going to take this one off, and I'm going to put it, but this time I'm going to remember and put it on sideways. It's the most wonderful time of the year. You have to look at them. Make sure you got them right side up and centered in your card. Pick it up. And as you can see, it put a little bit of a thing on it, so I'm going to reuse the same green ink. There we go. Look guys, how pretty. There you go. Now we have our cards made. And you can go buy get a drink of water. These are 4 1/4, probably it's a little bit bigger than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Your homemade cards will fit right in there. No issue. Seal them up, send them, you're done. However, if you want to do a full homemade, situation, this is called an envelope punch board, which this thing goes with. Okay, so I'm going to take here it is. Just a sheet of copy paper. It does not have to be anything special. The lighter the better because it punches easier and everything. Let's get my stamps out of the way. I'll clean them up in a bit, put them away. Okay, so what you're wanting to do is down through here, it will tell you the different size of card. So we want to find the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card, which is it's this A2 size card right there. It'll say A2 on it, which is the size card that any of the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 cards are. So once you find that, it'll tell you how big you need to have your paper, which is 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. So you're going to bring out your trimmer again. Now, 8 1/8. 1/8 is at first, you got this is blocked off in 16th, so you'll go to that first higher than the first one you got. And you'll go in and cut your paper. Okay? And then you go over to the other side at 8 1/8, which is only going to be a tiny, this paper is not wanting to, or this, it gets stopped up with stuff, guys, so be very careful. And it don't like little paper. So I'm just going to do it that way and then trim it off. Okay. I'll just trim this little tiny bit off. Okay, so now, oops, sorry for the noise. You go back to where it says, and it says 8 1/8 by 8 1/8, and you score at 3 3/4. So these have measurements on the top of it. So you go over to the 3 3/4, and you hit this little punch button. You take your, because this is thin paper, you want to be easy. And you score down through. See where it's got a score mark on it? Then you turn it around and you put that score mark in with this little tiny tip that's sticking out there. You stick that in there. You punch again, take your scoring tool and go down to the end. You turn it around, put your score mark, measure it up again, punch, and score. Punch, and score. And it'll come out pretty even on the end of it. Set that aside, take and fold the 2 inside edges out of the way. And you can take and turn this around this way. It's got a little corner punch in it. And you can punch it and it makes a little round corner on the top of your envelope. There we go. Now this part is what I would use what they call score tape with. Okay, it's just double-sided tape. Put it only on the bottom half of your envelope. And it just tears easy on both sides. Okay, and then you take and peel the white stuff off of it. That leaves your sticky down. Then you pull the bottom up where it creases. And now you have an envelope that fits your A2 size cards. Just like that. Now you can, if you want to, take this back off, fold your top down. If you want to be a little on the fancy side, take your acrylic block. This is your inside of your stuff. Put it down here. Make sure it's right side up. Okay, put your blue ink back on. Take and line it up to the best of your ability over the thing. Set it down. Do not rock it. Just hold it for a second or two in as many places as you can so that that ink connects. And now your envelope is decorated. So then you just put your card back in just like you want it to be. And now what I would do is take just a small piece of this double-sided tape and put it on there. Probably sideways, yeah. And then you can take the other side off and you can seal it down. And it's ready to go in the mail. All I'm going to do is address it. Alright guys, that is these all done. If you want me to do a tutorial on larger size cards or different cards, please just leave me a comment down in the bottom and I'll be glad to. This one's been too long to work on that this time, but I'll be happy to do it. And if you would like, sometime in the winter, when there's nothing else really to do, I will do a tutorial on how to make a gift card or a holiday card set. Either Christmas, or you could have a miscellaneous for birthdays, sympathy, thank you cards, whatever. You could do a miscellaneous box and give them as a gift to somebody so that they would always have a card on hand to be able to give out a nice handmade card. So
okay guys, I hope you watched to the end. I hope Santa is good to you next week for Christmas. I'll be having one more video come out this week, and I hope you enjoy it. And until the next time, have a very wonderful Christmas. If you've liked anything you've seen so far or would like to have anything else, please leave me a comment. Please like, share, and if you haven't already, do me a Christmas present favor and subscribe. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video and the new year as it comes up. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.